Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code P0223 pertains to the TP sensor B circuit, indicating a high voltage condition. This code can be related to the Throttle Position Sensor, TPS, specifically Sensor B, located on the throttle body of the Honda Odyssey models from 2011 to 2017. The TPS measures the position of the throttle and relays this information to the Engine Control Module, ECM, for optimal engine performance. A high voltage condition can disrupt the communication between the TPS and the ECM, potentially leading to poor engine response and fuel efficiency. Understanding this code and its implications is vital for effective troubleshooting, ensuring that the engine operates smoothly. The troubleshooting steps provided take a systematic approach to identify and rectify the underlying issues contributing to the P0223 fault code. The P0223 code indicates a problem with the Throttle Position Sensor B, a critical component that measures how far the throttle is open. This sensor is located on the throttle body, which is the component that controls the amount of air entering the engine. Its primary role is to send voltage signals to the ECM that correspond to the throttle's position, allowing the engine to adjust fuel mixture and air supply as required for optimal performance. If the sensor reports a voltage that is higher than expected, it signals to the ECM that the throttle is more open than intended, which can lead to issues such as poor acceleration, abnormal idle conditions, or even stalling. Accurately diagnosing the issue involves checking the voltage and connections associated with the TPS as detailed in the troubleshooting steps outlined for the DTC code. Several factors may contribute to the P0223 code being triggered in the Honda Odyssey. One possible cause is a malfunctioning throttle position sensor itself, leading to inaccurate voltage readings. Poor electrical connections or damaged wiring to the sensor can also produce erratic readings, causing confusion within the ECM. Additionally, if the powertrain control module, PCM, is faulty or has corrupted programming, it may misinterpret signals from the TPS. Therefore, understanding these potential causes is essential in creating an effective strategy for troubleshooting. Each of these possibilities must be systematically evaluated to identify the root cause of the high voltage issue. The symptoms associated with a P0223 code can significantly affect the driving experience of the Honda Odyssey. Drivers may notice poor engine performance, characterized by sluggish acceleration or loss of power. The vehicle may exhibit abnormal idle quality, causing it to rev higher than normal or struggle to maintain a stable idle. Additionally, stalling or hesitation during acceleration can occur, particularly when trying to merge into traffic or climb steep inclines. Recognizing these symptoms can assist technicians in arriving at a diagnosis more quickly, allowing for a targeted approach to repairs. Understanding how these symptoms manifest is crucial for both the driver and the technician to facilitate a prompt and effective resolution. The initial step in diagnosing the P0223 code involves turning the ignition switch to the on-to position. It's essential to record all freeze data and any snapshot data stored in the vehicle's memory, as this information provides insight into the conditions that led to the fault triggering. Additionally, reviewing general troubleshooting information is recommended to familiarize yourself with specific protocols and test procedures outlined for this code. This foundational step sets the stage for an informed diagnostic journey, ensuring that no critical details are overlooked. Proper documentation of freeze frame data also helps in corroborating intermittent issues later in the troubleshooting process. Following the setup procedure, the next step is to clear the Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Clearing the DTC resets the system and allows for fresh data acquisition during the next diagnostic steps. After clearing the code, it's essential to reevaluate the system by accessing the diagnostic information once more. This process helps determine if the DTC comes back intermittently or if it triggers under specific conditions, aiding in the identification of underlying issues. Understanding how to properly use the HDS will streamline future diagnostics and can save significant time in repairs. In this step, you will need to check TP Sensor B in the data list using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This involves assessing the voltage that the TPS reports, focusing specifically on whether it shows about 4.8 volts or more. A reading at or above this level indicates that the wiring and sensor are likely functional at that moment. If the voltage is satisfactory and meets these requirements, you can proceed to the next step in the troubleshooting process. However, if it is below the expected threshold, this could indicate an intermittent failure in the system. At this point, it's critical to further investigate electrical connections and ensure that there are no loose terminals affecting the readings. Proceeding to the next troubleshooting step requires checking for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS. You will specifically want to determine if DTCs P0123 and P0223 are indicated simultaneously. The presence of these codes may suggest that both sensors connected to the throttle body are experiencing issues. If both DTCs are present, it will direct you to further steps designed to address this simultaneous failure condition. If only P0223 is active, you will need to shift to Step 5 for additional diagnostics. This step is vital, as it helps pinpoint whether the issue is localized to one sensor or indicative of a broader systemic problem. The next step involves turning the ignition switch to lock 0 to safely prepare for further diagnostics. This is crucial for ensuring that no electrical connections are live while you are working on the vehicle's components. After locking the ignition, you will proceed to disconnect the throttle body 6P connector, which plays a fundamental role in the operation of the throttle position sensor. Disconnecting this connector allows for a safe environment to examine both the connector itself and the related wiring. This step is foundational for further troubleshooting and ensures that the next steps yield accurate diagnostic information. Once you have disconnected the throttle body's 6P connector, turn the ignition switch back to the on second position. At this stage, you will measure the voltage between the throttle body 6P connector, terminal number 4, and body ground. You are looking to verify whether there is about 5 volts present at this terminal. If you achieve the expected outcome, which signifies the circuit is likely intact, you can move on to step 18 in the protocol. Conversely, if the voltage reading is insufficient, it indicates a fault that demands more in-depth analysis of both the wiring and the sensor configuration. This step is pivotal in diagnosing the integrity of the TPS circuit and ensuring proper functionality. If the voltage reading from the previous step did not meet the expected thresholds, the ignition should once again be turned to the lock 0 position to ensure safety. At this point, you will need to jump the SCS, Service Check Signal Line, with the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This action allows for advanced diagnostic functionalities to check the integrity of the critical components involved. Connecting the SCS line properly is crucial because it enables the diagnostic tool to communicate effectively with the vehicle's electronic systems. Ensuring that this step is carried out with precision opens the pathway for a thorough analysis of potential faults within the PCM and related systems, facilitating more targeted repair processes. For this troubleshooting step, you will disconnect the PCM connector B, which houses multiple terminals used for communication between sensors and the engine control module. The next critical task is to check for continuity between PCM connector terminal B26 and throttle body 6P connector terminal number 4. This measurement is essential to ensure that there are no breaks or faults in the wiring that connects the TPS to the PCM. By checking for continuity, you can confirm that signals can flow freely between these components, which is vital for correct throttle position reporting to the ECM. If continuity fails, it indicates a wiring issue that must be resolved before re-establishing the connection between the TPS and the PCM. After completing all troubleshooting steps and addressing any faults identified, it's crucial to perform a final verification of the repairs made. This involves taking the vehicle for a test drive to observe its behavior under real-world driving conditions. During this test, pay attention to any symptoms that were previously exhibited, such as poor acceleration or stalling. Additionally, use the HDS to ensure that the DTC has been completely cleared from the system. Confirming that the P0223 code does not reappear is essential for validating that the repair was successful and that the throttle position sensor and its circuitry are functioning as intended. This step serves as a quality check to ensure that the issues have been fully resolved, restoring the vehicle's performance. Preventive maintenance is an essential aspect of ensuring your Honda Odyssey remains in optimal condition, particularly regarding the throttle position sensor and its connections. Regularly checking electrical connections can prevent future problems related to poor connectivity or corrosion. This routine check helps identify issues early, allowing for timely corrections before they escalate into more significant failures. Additionally, performing cleanings on sensors can help ensure they are free from contaminants that may distort readings. A mindful approach to preventive maintenance aids not just in preserving existing performance, but in extending the life of critical engine components, such as the TPS. In conclusion, understanding the DTC P0223 and its implications for the Honda Odyssey from 2011 to 2017 is crucial for effective vehicle maintenance and repair. Following the systematic troubleshooting procedures ensures that affected sensors and connections are accurately diagnosed, leading to successful resolution of the problems. Solving issues related to high voltage in the TP sensor B circuit can significantly improve engine performance, alleviate symptoms, and restore reliability. Furthermore, focusing on preventive care, including regular inspections and maintenance routines, can mitigate risks and promote longevity of critical components. A proactive approach is essential, ultimately enhancing the overall driving experience and vehicle safety. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.